there's so many things going on. It really is insane that's going on. You know, it's the more, like I said, the more that we go, the more people that we meet. It's really funny how we meet people. You know, like it's very funny how we meet people out of nowhere. You know, and they actually really, you know, how we just actually connect out of nowhere. Because really, I've been listening in on this program for a while, and I've been on Rick's site for a while, but it took a lot just to, you know, to actually go through with it, you know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you, too, because I was wondering what on earth is going on up there in Bethel, because things were going crazy, it seemed like, you know.
Everything is the way it looks. There's no sugarcoating it. Everything is the way it sounds, is the way it is. It's out there. I think what's the next, if the things don't start shaping up pretty soon, I can really obviously see them start taking sides. You know, I can honestly start seeing people start taking sides, and, you know, when that start happening, that, you know, Watchtower will definitely lose control of everything that they have. You know, because it won't be able to stand by itself. People they're afraid.
Yeah, do you think that's why the Watchtower Society is now downsizing and selling kingdom halls and trying to get as much money as they can in real estate?
Yeah.
They're afraid.
Yeah, they're very afraid. They're afraid of everybody and they're talking about years. They're afraid of everyone and anything that supposedly proposes them for. Like I said, even the whole reason what I do is because they're paranoid that anyone can do them any damage. If you could do damage to the Watchtower right now in any way, shape, or form, you are public enemy number one. You know?
Do you think any of the governing body are watching those YouTube movies?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent exposing?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
They watch it, and you want to know why they watch it? Because they go directly to the media department to make sure there's an answer for every single question. They watch it so they can have an answer ready. You know, so they can say, wait a minute, you know what? It's like this. It's not like that. You know, that's not what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say is the sky is purple. That's what I meant to say, you know. Everything, and it's really, it's sickening when you think about all the disinformation that's going on.
So, John, you actually work with the, you monitor the adverse sites or the critical sites of the Watchtower. Would you say that this is going to be the downfall of the Internet?
I really believe that the Internet was able to. You see, things were already from what my parents told me growing up, that in the 70s there was the first uprising happened in Bethel. You know, where brothers and sisters didn't feel safe at all. You know, that's what my family told me. My dad, he was a commuter Bethelite back in the 70s, and they told me that in the 70s there was almost an uprising, and the governing body had to squash it, you know, as soon as possible. But the reason that it happened was because everyone was suspicious of everyone else. You know, things can't function if you have to question everything. You know, if you don't trust anyone around you, you can't function. You know, we're not made to be like that. You know?
Thank you very much. That's exactly how I feel. It's not unity anymore. It's not love. It's not the fruitages of the Spirit, which Jesus described. You will know they are my disciples by their love. And above all, God is love. So you can know all the law, you can know all this stuff, but if you don't love the people and you don't love your fellow man, you are nothing in God's eyes. You are despicable. So that's the thing. They've forgotten the love. People we're human beings. We're not robots.
I say we're not cattle. You know.
Yeah.
We're not cattle to be put in pens and fed trash and whatever you want to feed us, and that's it. And you know, we're just going to take it. You know.
What kind of I was going to say, how is your guys' meetings go and your watchtowers and things like that? Are they really super dry or?
Well, no, not really. Our family, we have a family night, which is on Mondays. Basically, is where we have the family, the whole Bethel family has their Watchtower study. And then, depending on who you are, you have a last week they tell you ahead of time when you're going to give a comment, you know, like in morning worship, they tell you ahead of time if you're going to make a comment, you know.
Yeah.
So last week I had a comment ready to go, and you know, it's different. It's becoming more and more different every day. You know, it's just you're not feeling it. You're really not feeling. You see people not feeling it. You know.
Well, John, how about other Bethelites? Do they feel the same way? Or you kind of like a lone wolf there, or other Bethelites voicing up as well?
I'm not. A lot of Bethelites are starting to push back. A lot of them, believe it or not, and they're not going to tell you this also, there's now starting to be drug abuse. And alcoholism is starting to pop up a lot more than it did before. You know, it's because these people are looking for a way out, you know. If these Bethelites who've stayed single, you know, you're 40 years old and you've been single your whole life and you've given all this time and all you have is one day you figure you're in a little room and all you have is a little TV and that's all you have to show for it, you know, and you think about what you could have had, you know, and they're starting to pop up, or a lot of brothers are starting to get kicked out for drinking all the time. I guarantee you, Rick, that I can take you to about 20 to 40 different rooms. And I guarantee you they have a bar. They have bars in their room better stocked than if I were to go back into Manhattan and go into a regular bar there.
Yeah, that's something. Now, how about homosexuality? Is that prevalent there or what?
That, believe it or not, it gets squashed and kicked out very easily. When that happens, that gets kicked out. Really, that's something that's not really a problem. You know, the biggest problem I have to say that I can see, it has to be mental health and like alcoholism and drugs are squeezing their way in finally.
Because the Bethelites just can't stand it anymore. They're learning
they really can't.
Yeah, it's unreal, huh? Well, John, you're a real trooper. My goodness, I can't believe it that you're willing to come on. You're speaking to us from a closed closet right there. I mean, I'm not trying to embellish this to try to make light of it, but I mean, it just goes to show that you're going to have to be secretive, and you're speaking from a closed closet at Bethel, and we have a lot of people still on with us tonight. It's going on 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, but we still have nobody's left. We have all the people. They've stayed right with us. In fact, I even aborted the 6 screens of the Watchtower conference call tonight. This is the first time I kept the pre-conference call program going, and we'll pick up in 2 weeks for all the top stories in the Watchtower, because you came on and Mary came on, and there's so much that you had to offer to us, and we certainly all appreciated it. And I hope that some of the people listening on here tonight, here's an excellent chance. Maybe John might not come on again. You know, he's willing to spill the beans tonight. He had a free night. His roommate is away. So here's a chance to ask John a question, or Mary. She's just distancing herself, too. She just left the congregation. So go ahead, speak up. Don't be shy. Let's hear some new people. Go ahead. It's *1.
Hello. This is Cliff again. I wanted to ask Johnny a question. Maybe Mary might have some information too, on the discontinuation of the book study. Do you feel that you know, of course they gave us reasons for it, save money on gas and have a night for family worship and all that other propaganda stuff, but do you feel like there was an alternate purpose for that?
Yes, I do.
I do too.
I do. Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Johnny, go ahead. I can tell you mine. I think they're trying to appease the people because people are exiting, so they're trying to make it more conducive. And people are getting really tired, so that's part of an appeasement there, because everybody was extremely excited when that happened. Others were not. So, it definitely, carved more. Everybody, mostly in my congregation, they were happy about it. But these are the same people that are tired and their heart's not in it anyways, and they one foot in, one foot out at this present time. It may not. It's different when they did. They quit the book study. We used to meet in the home. That there was a different aura then. Much more. It was actually more happier then. A little discontentment, not too much, but nothing like today. Nothing like right now. It was better, but everybody thought, oh, that's pretty cool, and people were chattering about how we're really in the end times, and pretty soon a lot of chatter about that we may not be meeting at the hall, that we better. There was a big chatter about don't miss any meetings, not even one, because you could be at a meeting and you would find out where the next meeting is at, and it's not going to be at the Kingdom Hall, and you'll be out if you don't go to your meetings. So there was twofold to that, in my opinion.
They taught that in the early 70s, and they called it the rendezvous then.
Well,
I guess they got rid of the name rendezvous because it sounded like a secret sexual meeting place. I don't know, but that didn't last very long. But they said that that was the same excuse, was that you never know, so you don't know if you're going to meet there one time and then maybe have to have the information for another place. Yeah, but that's been taught quite a while, so they're kind of going back to that, it looks like.
Yeah.
Idea.
What was your take, Johnny?
Well, my take on it is that I think personally that it's a money thing. It has to be it's a money problem when it comes to the book studies. You got to remember that 65, I believe, or 55% of all book studies do happen at the hall. And that's still electricity that's being used. Some of them still use the microphones and sound systems, which is money that's being used all the time. Also, you got to remember every time you use the bathroom, that's water and that's sewage, as well as other amenities that are being used every time. So that's 3 times. So if you knock down one of those, you're actually bringing it down, considerably. And it's just for a group of group of 50 maximum at a book study. For that much, a lot of them were very happy in the auditing department when they broke that down, because a lot of halls didn't have to open for one extra day.
Mhm. Well, our hall must have been cheesier, a little bit smaller, because we only had one book study at the hall. The rest were in homes.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I liked all 3 days.
How many congregations were in that hall?
How many what?
I said, how many congregations was in in Mary's hall?
2. 2.
So that would have been 2 extra. That would have been 2 extra nights using it for book study.
Yeah. Well, you got to also they really, another thing that they put their foot in their mouths is this. I don't know how many are from the New York area, right? The Jersey City Assembly Hall, which is Stanley Theater, right? One of the best assembly halls ever, right? Which I personally helped do a lot of construction there. But we didn't used to congregate there. Well, for the district conventions, we used to go to Nassau Coliseum. Because of the whole fighting between the vendors and us, that they wanted to sell us food, and it was our fault, because people used to cross the street to go to Starbucks, to go to McDonald's, to go here, to go there, during lunchtime and whatever. They took that away from us, right? Mm-hmm. So now Stanley Theater is used often, constantly, and now we're paying for it because now the balcony is falling, but they won't tell you that, because it's being used almost every other day. Okay, this is an assembly hall. You're talking about thousands of people are using an assembly hall. The rug has gone. They can't even replace the rug. They have to actually try to continue to keep on shining it and re-washing it. All right, but the biggest concern of them all is the foundation is also dipping a little bit as well. And also, like I said, my biggest concern, as always, is that the balcony is falling.